I'm fighting Gervonta Davis on Netflix.
Let's go.
People think that he could actually beat me, and people think he could outbox me, and he's so powerful and this and that. That's what makes it a good fight. November 14th, Netflix.
The energy inside Dunn Studio was intense the moment Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul sat across from each other for the first time. You could feel the tension in the air, two powerful personalities locked in a silent battle of pride and confidence. This wasn't your typical media face-off. It was a meeting of two completely different worlds. On one side stood Tank Davis, a pound-for-pound powerhouse known for his devastating knockouts and a fan base that treats him like royalty. On the other stood Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxing disruptor, a self-made millionaire who's flipped the sport on its head and insists he's ready to shock the world all over again.
Holy shit, Jake Paul versus Tank Davis is actually happening. What the f is going on? I guess Tank is going broke because that's the only justifiable reason you ruin your legacy against a guy like Jake Paul. And yes, I do think Jake Paul is going to win. Tank Davis is a much better boxer and has crazy power, but he's 5'5", 130. That power is not going to carry over against someone who is 6'1", 210. And it's not like Jake is bad. Yes, his fights are boring. He says he's going to step in the ring and sleep his opponents, but the only people who end up sleeping are the audience. Mike Tyson fight, but at the end of the day, he's a big guy with power who's training boxing full-time, and he has beaten some legitimate competition. Woodley, Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva, Mike Perry had a competitive fight with Tommy Fury, but it's crazy how particular Jake has to be when selecting his opponents. They have to have enough clout to be interesting, enough skill to be taken seriously as a threat, but at the same time have clear weaknesses and disadvantages that Jake and his team can exploit to win. Now that he's fighting an elite boxer, he has to fight someone 7 weight classes down. I mean, Tank could win if he makes Jake do a very aggressive weight cut, but I just don't see that happening. I got Jake by 3rd round TKO. He should put me on the co-main event and allow me to fight Francis Ngannou. That would be an easy 1st round knockout for myself.
But when their eyes met, things got real. Tank leaned back in his chair, arms folded, flashing that cold, confident smile, while Jake leaned forward, staring him down like he was ready for a challenge. The room fell completely silent for a brief moment before Jake broke it, his voice cutting through the tension. "You've been fighting guys your size," he said. "Now you're in my world."
For all of you Karens who accuse me of being on steroids as the reason for winning all of my fights, we have the strictest drug testing possible for this match. U.S. Anti-Doping Agency. Random drug tests at any moment. Oh look, they're here now.
Hey USADA, he in the cut. Looking good. See if you're on steroids. Clean as a whistle, contrary to what they say.
To understand why this face-off was so intense, you have to go back a little. This rivalry didn't just appear overnight. It all began earlier this year when Jake Paul stepped into the ring with Mike Tyson.
Do you think that it's fair to call them boxers now? We talk about Logan brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did. You just couldn't get the knockout. And he tried to knock him out for sure.
Tank Davis was furious. He felt Jake wasn't proving anything by going after a 60-year-old legend. To him, it was a weak move and a slap in the face to boxing. Tank said Jake was disrespecting the sport by choosing Tyson instead of testing himself against a real opponent.
Who were you gonna call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
From that point on, things only got hotter. Jake fired back, claiming Tank was just jealous of his spotlight and warning that he'd knock him out like everyone else who stepped in his way.
Lord, I'm sorry. I'm just in a silly, goofy mood.
At first, Tank laughed it off, but as Jake's fame kept growing, their online trash talk started turning into a real possibility. And now, here we are, their first official face-off. Jake Paul showed up brimming with confidence, towering over Tank with a clear size advantage. He's naturally a cruiserweight who cuts down but still looks much bigger, and he made sure to use that to his advantage, mocking Tank's height, weight, and reach every chance he got.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
Jake's entire approach in that face-off was built around intimidation. He wanted to make Tank look small in every sense, knowing casual fans loved the big guy versus little guy storyline. Only this time, the roles were flipped. But here's the thing. Tank has spent his whole career as the smaller man and still ends up knocking opponents out cold. Before diving into Jake Paul stepping up against Gervonta Davis, we need to rewind a bit, because the Lamont Roach storyline adds a whole new layer of drama. Remember their first fight? No one thought Roach would push Tank that hard, but he didn't just challenge him, he humbled him.
Oh, nice double left hook by Roach to the body and then to the head. Right there it is. Oof. And oh, Davis just got backed up with a counter right from Roach.
That's a big moment in
with the left. Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still, Roach leading with right.
He took a knee.
He took a knee. What is he doing?
He forgot his...
Nice combination from Roach. Best thing yet. Oh, another right hand, another right left by Roach. Nice combination. Got just over around 11 as well.
Maybe him getting proud.
Davis fighting on even terms here in the 11th. Both of them have landed.
Has to keep doing that. Roach said the familiarity, knows his weaknesses. It's one thing to say it.
The decision is a majority draw.
Roach entered the ring with something to prove, fighting like a man who refused to be ignored. Tank had all the spotlight, but Roach embraced the underdog role and gave everything he had. By the time the final bell rang, many fans believed Tank had just barely made it through.
Honestly, I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. But the rules do state, if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic 8 count. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my thing. So I'm not really that frustrated about that. But if that was kind of a knockdown, I would win the majority of the...
Roach's performance had the boxing world talking, and for the first time, Tank's image of being untouchable started to show cracks.
Tank did that, so I know the got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, it would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He a little distracted in the fight.
That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee, he's like, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut my braids off. I had braids and I had the same thing. I went through the same shit when I fought Andre. That shit burning my eyes, so I cut that off.
Here's where things got even more interesting. Roach had the foresight to lock in a rematch clause before their first fight. He knew that if he kept it close, fans would be calling for a second fight right away.
I already signed. My first contract is signed for an immediate rematch in the case of a draw or if I win. So I'm already contractually signed to a rematch. It's on him. I hope we can get it done because I want to show the world again that that wasn't a...
And sure enough, once the dust settled, fans immediately started calling for Tank versus Roach 2. They wanted answers: was Tank losing his edge, or had Roach figured him out for Tank? This wasn't just another fight. It was a chance to redeem himself.
How many rematches have you fought?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just
go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people getting messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot, and I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. Just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
Tank needed that rematch to prove the first fight was just a fluke, silence the critics, and remind everyone why he's known as one of the most dangerous punchers in the sport.
Tank Davis, bad dude. See, what I like about Tank is Tank brings something different. You know, back in the days, everybody had something. Muhammad Ali was a mover boxer, George was a puncher, Ernest Shaver was a puncher. Everybody had something they brought to the table. Larry Holmes had a jab. Mike Weaver had overhand right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something. That division now is full, and Tank having to be the knockout guy of the division. He the one with the main knockout power. Garcia has it too, but Tank got that real knockout power that, like, if Tank hit one of them clean, usually they gonna have a problem. So it's like, I like Tank. Every now and then, I think when he knows he can beat somebody, he probably don't lock in as hard, but I think when they bring challenges, he locks in.
Yeah, he fights to the level of his competition. He was doing that a lot.
And he got to be careful of that.
2 fights ago, he was really doing that.
You feel me? So you got to be careful of that, because if you come in and think somebody is not at your level and you underestimate them, it can get you beat. So that's the only thing I think you got to be careful of. Other than that, Tank is a really good fighter.
But then everything fell apart. The rematch was canceled, leaving Lamont Roach stranded and furious, and rightfully so. This was supposed to be his moment to prove the first fight was no accident. Instead, Tank changed direction completely, leaving that unfinished business behind and turning his attention to something far more unexpected: Jake Paul.
They say he took it easy on me.
Hey, this internet crazy, bro.
What?
Social media crazy.
Let me address some rumors.
Go ahead.
They say he's supposed to fight Jake Paul next, after he was supposed to clean me up. Jake Paul gonna guarantee you about $40 million if the fight is with a notable person, which is Tank. Why would he take it easy on me? Why would he sacrifice that? Especially if he's talking about retiring, and that's his exit plan. If that's the case, why would he do that? That baffles me. Now, as a fighter, let me ask you, would you ever sacrifice what you work so hard for? Your record, your legacy, chance to be one of the, come on. That's, all right, I'm gonna leave it at that.
I ain't gonna do it.
That's what I'm saying.
It might be somebody out there that would.
It sure ain't him.
I ain't the guy.
It sure ain't him.
It didn't look like y'all was playing with each other during that fight, though.
I know.
It looked like you was trying to hurt him, and bro looked like he was trying to hurt you. That's what I seen.
And let's be real, this is where fans started scratching their heads. The fight with Jake Paul might bring massive attention, money, and media buzz, but when it comes to boxing legacy, it doesn't add up.
Jake versus Tank. This is just a money grab. Tank is in the news for bashing his missus. He obviously needs the money, and Jake Paul is the money fight in boxing.
How the hell do you go from potentially fighting a heavyweight in Anthony Joshua to now going all the way down and facing Tank Davis? That's a major weight drop.
Are they?
It's an exhibition, so it's not a real fight.
No, so apparently it's going to be a hybrid.
Which just means it's bullshit.
But Netflix are in the entertainment industry. We all paid to see Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson at 60 years old fighting an old man in a walker. Now you're going to see Jake Paul fight Tank Davis. And I'm going to be honest with you, Jake Paul should be the favorite. He's got the weight advantage.
Size advantage.
He's got the size advantage.
Reach.
Say what you want, it's going to be an entertaining fight.
I mean, this is a real boxer. People are asking, fight a real boxer. This is one of the best boxers in the world. But the fact that it's an exhibition, it just takes away from it.
Roach was the man who exposed Tank and the one fans believed truly deserved a rematch. So when Tank skipped over that unfinished chapter to chase Jake Paul instead, it looked like he was avoiding redemption, and that's exactly why Lamont Roach is furious. Then Jake added fuel to the fire by revealing the fight rules, and honestly, they sound like something dreamed up in a late-night Discord chat. First off, the weight Jake says he's fighting at 195 pounds. 195.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195. It would be an exhibition.
Okay, so it was going to be an exhibition, not sanctioned, but no restrictions. You can knock each other out and shit like that. It was going to be at a catch weight of 195 pounds. 10 rounds, 3 minutes. I've been trying to figure this out. Why was I a Tank hater for wanting to see Tank go up 5 pounds to get some smoke with like Teofimo Lopez or something? I just wanted to see him go up 5 pounds and fight Teofimo Lopez. And all of you were saying, you want Tank hurt, Showbiz. You a hater. You want him hurt. Then I'm convinced, okay, he's too small, but he can fight Jake at 195?
Tank fights at 135 pounds, which is 6 full weight classes below Jake. That's like throwing a lion against a hippo and pretending it's a fair fight. Tank's never looked comfortable even at 140, and now he's supposed to face someone who walks around at heavyweight? Let's be honest, Tank Davis isn't the same beast he used to be. There was a time when every opponent feared him, knowing one mistake could end their night. Back then, he was driven, ruthless, and obsessed with proving he was the best. Now, it feels like the hunger's fading. Instead of chasing greatness, he's chasing paychecks. The aura of danger that once surrounded him is starting to fade, replaced by business moves that make more financial sense than competitive sense. Fans see it, the killer instinct doesn't look as sharp, and the focus on legacy is slipping away. When the Jake Paul fight was announced, the boxing world went wild. Reactions poured in instantly, and they weren't pretty. One of the loudest voices was Shakur Stevenson, and honestly, you can't blame him. He's been calling Tank out for years, building a rivalry that feels like it was destined to boil over.
Maybe he'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it, because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money, but from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me, and if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
there's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
Yeah.
To Shakur, Tank choosing Jake Paul over the biggest fight available, Tank versus Shakur, was straight up disrespectful to boxing. He didn't hold back, calling it a circus move and saying it proved Tank would rather chase an easy payday than test himself against another top fighter. And honestly, a Tank versus Shakur matchup would have been one of the biggest events the sport could deliver. But not everyone saw it that way. Raul Romero spoke up and kept it real, saying, "You can't knock a man for chasing the bag." In his eyes, Tank had every right to go after the money instead of the legacy fight.
Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him. Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option for him, or like all that stuff, right? At the end of it, bro, we just want to do what's best for ourselves, right?
Facts.
Right or wrong?
Facts.
So just do what's best for you.
Teofimo Lopez shared a similar view, praising both fighters for putting together such a massive event. From his perspective, boxing is a business. If fans are willing to pay, then why not make it happen? On the other hand, Daniel Cormier took a more balanced approach, showing respect for Jake Paul's growth as a fighter. He openly said he's backing Jake, reminding everyone that Jake's not the clueless rookie people make him out to be. He's trained seriously, taken real challenges, and has the size and power to give Tank serious trouble. But not everyone's buying it. Jeff Mayweather brushed off the entire matchup, calling it meaningless and saying neither fighter stands to gain anything of real value when it comes to boxing legacy.
Oh, I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
That sounds like an excuse to me. People, Jake always gets a hard time, for not fighting the best and top guys. And here he is fighting a current world champion, a pound for pound guy, and obviously showing he's taking all comers.
Pound for pound guy. I don't think that neither one of them are going to prove anything. I think that it's going to be an exhibition. So, and being that it's an exhibition, that means that nothing's gonna happen anyway. It's different if it was a fight in which somebody's gonna win. It's different. I mean, it's like it's one of those situations where it just doesn't make sense to anybody that's a real boxing fan. It doesn't make sense.
That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.